Hey, brothers and sisters and other siblings that would identify themselves in any other manner. This is Maarangam again, Anton Maarangam. I want to be game developer. Welcome to my channel again. Today we'll have some random off-tops, the things that I love the most. So yesterday I was working on this little buddy in a Unity official tutorial, which is very helpful actually if you would like to learn Unity. I was pretty interested in a difference between Euler angle and quaternion. So these are basically two different ways to think about rotation of an object, and Euler angle is the most intuitive thing that you see in 3D development programs like Blender or Unity. As you can see here, what is meant by this Euler angle is the angle calculated from these three circles, which are actually rotations around three different axes. This is okay in a game world. In the real world, similar systems tend to fail in one interesting way that I will show you. So in the real world, you can actually use this kind of device that is actually made of metal frames to identify your position in a 3D space. If you're flying to space or if you're flying an airplane, this can come in very handy if you don't have any other way to tell where you are, if you're flying through the clouds or thick fog. But there is a problem that is called gimbal lock. When these frames align, you can no longer tell where you're flying. This is the problem. And this problem happened to Apollo 11 mission. If you would like to research a bit on that, that's an interesting story. Quaternions solve this problem by introducing very complicated math. This is why we have Euler angles in many visual programs, because this is just easier for a person to understand what's going on. However, the system itself uses quaternions internally because it's just more accurate and convenient for the program. But why are Euler angles called Euler angles? That's a good question. I guess you guys are familiar with this kind of schematic, which is called Euler diagram. And Euler diagram is used to represent sets and relations between sets. For example, we can have a set of people who want to be game developers, and we can have a set of people who know Chinese. I will be actually somewhere in the middle because I learned Chinese in the university and I want to become a game developer. Some random knowledge never hurts. Euler actually is this guy who lived in the 18th century and developed all these cool mathematical things. And just admire this cheesy look. There is a special Wikipedia page dedicated to all the things named after this guy. Although Euler came from Switzerland, he actually lived half of his life in Russia. He knew Russian. I also come from Russia. I naturally feel pretty inspired because there is another talented person knew Russian. So Euler was actually invited to Russia by this guy who was Peter the Great, and he was indeed pretty great. He established the first university, made Russia a lot more westernized, and tried to raise the intellectual sphere in the country. But the times were tough. By the time Euler actually arrived in Russia, it was not this guy on the throne, not even his wife, but the following person. That was some turbulent time. He started doing math in Russia. The political situation was really not stable at some point, so Euler returned to Prussia, to today's Germany basically. That was the Prussian ruler at that time. Frederick II, who found Euler a pretty boring person because he was a mathematician deep into these things. When asked why he's not socializing with other people, he said that I just came from Russia, a place where if you speak too much, you're just executed. After all, he moved back as we started having a decent emperor again, who was actually German. Catherine the Great, she was also very great. Commissioned so much money to him, really a lot of money. So unlike our poor Frederick, she could actually cherish the good intellectuals. Now you know, guys, where this kind of circles come from. A bit of an off-top about how their inventor, a great guy, hang out with 3 other great guys. Subscribe for more off-tops. Subscribe to follow my track through the game development world. Love you all, guys. Peace.